Okay, so this chapter we are going to talk about dilation.
This is lesson 5 of chapter 9, so let's get straight to it. So here's a real life example of dilation. As you can see,
The eyes are dilating when you are excited or
extremely focused in something.
yes. So this is one example of dilation in real life where you can use it. So, what is dilation?
Dilation is an enlargement or reduction of the size of a shape.
Remember that dilation does not actually only mean enlargement, but it can also mean the the image is reducing in size.
Yeah, and the scale factor tells how much bigger or smaller it is.
Yes.
So, how do you tell this? So, if the scale factor is less than 1, then it is a reduction.
And if the scale factor is more than 1, then it is an enlargement. If you are doing a dilation, you always have to have a center and a scale factor. A scale factor for dilation has to be more than 0. Or if it is less than 0, it will be a negative dilation, which we will talk about later in the lesson. This is how we we use the scale factor, how we see the scale factor.
So we're going to open up GSP here. And as you can see here, we have center point A right here. And as you can see, it is our center point because you need to have one in order to dilate something. And using the scale factor 0.5, it takes this and then it dilates it. And so since it is 0.5 scale factor, it is smaller than the original.
So you can see that the length of the corresponding parts are like the scale factor. For example, CB is 10.616 and C prime B prime is 5.08, and its scale factor is 0.5.
Which matches up with the actual scale factor.
Yes, and another thing is the distance from the center to the corresponding parts. CA 2 times of C prime A, as you can see from here.
So let's head back into the presentation.
So in this problem, we are finding the scale factor of the dilation. First, we have to find whether it is an enlargement or a reduction.
So from T prime to X prime right there, we can see that there's 8 right there, and then there's 4 right there, which makes it 12.
And the smaller one is 4. So
12 divided by 4 is 3. So the scale factor is 3, making it an enlargement.
so 3 is more than 1, thus it is an enlargement. So what is the scale factor?
We already found it, and the scale factor is 3, because 12 divided by 4 is 3.
The next one we are presenting you the dilation rule, which can be used on a graph. So on a graph, use the dilation rule to find the dilated image. We use the coordinate and multiply it each coordinate x and y and multiply it with n.
Which is the scale factor.
Okay, so for this one, ZPG is on a graph. So we need to name the coordinates.
So P is at coordinate 2, 0, Z is at negative 3, 1, and G is at 0, negative 2.
What do we do here is multiply these number with the scale factor, which is 2.
And again, we use that equation, which is the dilation rule. So you plug P in for the X and Y values, and of course the N values are already 2, so we plug that in too.
Which gives us pre-prime 4, 0.
Okay. Same with Z and G.
So let's see which points they are in. And let's see if it creates, what triangle it creates. Now let's check the answer. Yes, it is correct dilation. We're using the dilation rule.
And it is twice the size because the scale factor is 2, as you can see.
And the newly created, the image name is going to be P prime, Z prime,
and
G prime. The third problem is we are using a scale factor to find a length.
A magnifying glass shows you an image of an object that is 7 times the object's actual size. So the scale factor is 7. And as you can see, there's an apple seed under this magnifying glass. So we're supposed to find the length of the apple seed.
So from the image, we see the magnified image is 1.75 cm, but we want to know what is size of the real apple seed. So what do we do?
So you put 1.75 on one side, on the other side is the scale factor times the actual length.
And then we use algebra and find the actual length by dividing 1.75 by 7, and the answer is 0.25. So the actual length of the apple seed is 0.25.
Centimeters. I'm not sure why it says inches there, but it's okay.
So in this part we are showing you
more examples from the Sketchpad application. So let's head over there.
So we are showing you the dilation with a negative scale factor.
As we said in the beginning, we're gonna take a look at how it actually does with a negative scale factor. As you can see here, we are selecting a triangle, but first we have to mark the center point first. So as you can see, we double click there, and we mark it. So we're gonna select the entire triangle, and then go to transform, dilate, and then we can dilate by the ratio, and now we can plug in a negative number. So as you can see here, plugged in -3/2, and it actually goes on the other side.
And that is what happens when you use a negative scale factor.
Alright, thank you everyone for watching. This is Pao and Fei Fei.
Have a nice day.
Goodbye.